One stunt guy, I killed him 9 times. We dressed him as a woman, black hair, blonde, beard, no beard, mustache, glasses. That was the guy who made more money in the whole movie.
Welcome to Couch Surfing, the show where amazing guests look back at their big roles, their little roles, and everything in between. I'm here with Antonio Banderas. Antonio, let's see what's on, shall we?
Shall we? Yes,
okay.
Let's do it. Oh.
Buenos días.
This actually was I think it was number 3 or 4 in my filmography with Pedro Almodóvar. It was the first comedy that actually got to the mainstream.
Were you surprised to see how embraced it was by international audiences?
In a way, yes. Because when you do something that you think that is very local, you don't expect for this thing to have an impact internationally.
Right.
But this movie had. The first time that we were nominated for an Academy Award was with this movie.
You worked with Pedro for many years. I mean, at least on 5 or 6, 7 films, I think.
7 films, and I'm going to make another one in July. It's called Pain and Glory. And it's a portrait of a director. I think it's him.
You think?
I think it's him.
Next clip.
Let's go for it.
Okay, let's go to Philadelphia, shall we?
All right. A little bit more. This was a beautiful, emotional movie, actually.
You know, many people have said that this was one of the most important films of your career. Would you agree?
If not probably as an actor, but from a social point of view.
Right.
And what this movie meant at the moment that we did it.
And helping to define the conversation about this.
Nobody was talking about AIDS
Exactly.
at the time, and it was very unfair. Nobody was talking about gayness at that time, and it has to be portrayed on the screens, not on a simple screen, the screens of Hollywood. That would be the big triumph for that community, when it's just totally accepted without no restrictions of any kind.
When it's not even worth discussing.
Exactly.
Because it's a non-issue.
That would be the final.
Okay, before we get to Puss in Boots, we're going to go someplace
Else.
a little more desperate.
Let's see. Oh, yeah. We did this movie with practically no money.
Really?
This thing that we're going to do here, we were playing there with our lives, literally. You know, we were in the top of this building. They were just holding me with a rope that then they erased. I don't know if we're going to get to that point. They explode behind us. Look at this. We are jumping here. Let me see.
Yeah, you're like...
Look, that's her holding from a crane of a guy who was doing a construction around the area. This is nothing prepared. You know, somebody was holding me with a rope there. And then I jumped backwards in the same crane to just crash against the other building.
Oh my goodness.
And now there is an explosion that I don't know how. I mean, the heat behind us was so intense that it burns a little bit of my hair.
Really? Okay,
Yeah, that's
so
it. Yeah.
The chemistry between you and Salma was palpable. Was it immediate off camera? Did you guys immediately connect in that way? Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was staying in a place called Del Rio in Texas, and so there was a pool in the middle. The only thing that we had that was a pool.
Okay.
Not very fancy.
It didn't sound like it.
No, it wasn't. And suddenly I see this woman coming with this kind of leopard bikini. I said, interesting. And that was Salma Hayek.
So,
And, hi,
out of
she said
this,
to me,
like-
hi, I am your partner in the movie. I said,
interesting.
It's more interesting even now. So, yeah, it was an immediate connection.
All right, well, from one woman to another.
Tell me before I waltz out of your life, before turning my back on the past.
Yeah. Madonna it's probably one of the most committed artists that I've ever worked with.
Really?
She was totally into this character. It was actually great working with her. And I'm in love with musicals. It's a beautiful art form. It was one of those projects that I will always remember. There was a moment one day here that we shot in in La Casa Rosada. La Casa Rosada is like the White House here.
Okay.
And she got an idea with Alan Parker, who was directing the movie. We have 5,000 extras in the Plaza de Mayo where she has to give a speech. The speech is "Don't Cry for Me, Argentina,"
Right.
the song. So she came dressed as Eva Duarte de Perón, shooting, no rehearsal, nothing. And the extras' reaction was extraordinary.
Yeah.
All the extras started crying. It was, and the camera was shooting, so we captured all of that
That's
environment.
fantastic.
It was one of those magic moments I will never forget.
So this is Sir Anthony Hopkins.
That's it, Sir Anthony Hopkins.
Sir Anthony Hopkins.
Yes,
And there you are. He's cracking the whip.
As you can say.
Feet on your back.
There you go.
And you're doing those push-ups.
Yeah.
That's not a stunt double.
No, that's me burning my my tummy. He's a wise actor. You love to work with actors like that. There was a day that I was beside the camera, beneath the camera, and I was just very worried about my lines and this and that, and what I have to say. And he was looking at me. He was just looking at me. I said, "What are you worried about?" I said, "Well, I have, my lines, and I don't know if I am Zorro or not Zorro. Come with me." And he took me inside this hacienda that we were shooting. There was a big mirror over there. I said, "Look at yourself in the mirror." And he said, "Yeah." I said, "What do you see?" Me. He said, "No, you see Zorro. You don't have to do anything.
Wow.
Just walk, man, and just say the line, throw them away. You're Zorro. They said you cannot avoid it. So don't try to do more than you need to do. Don't be so busy. Just be." And people will love that. So advices like that, from a man who actually knows practically everything was great, about acting and about, it was great. It was a great time.
So this character is essentially like if Zorro and a cat mated, you would have Puss in Boots.
This character is a possibility that my professional life gave me to laugh off myself.
Really?
Literally.
Now, did you immediately jump into Puss's boots, or did you have to be convinced to take on this
No,
character?
I didn't have to be convinced because I saw Shrek, and I love Shrek. And so the interesting decision made here was the voice that I was going to use. I was in Broadway at the time, and I had to do my first session, and they showed me, a lot of paintings of the character, and I saw how little he was. And they want me to do a little voice. They want my accent in Spanish, obviously, but with a little voice like that. And I thought, no. Let's just provide him with a thick voice, something that goes against the body that he has. It's almost like Puss in Boots never look at himself in the mirror, so he doesn't know actually how he is.
Yeah,
he doesn't know if he's tall or he thinks that he's very big.
Yeah.
With
a lot of swagger.
Yeah. So that was comedy. That's what it's called.
It was comedy gold.
And so we had a lot of fun with this character, and he was adored all around the world.
Next up?
Picasso is an universe in himself, a planet with a tremendous gravity. And many people got trapped in that gravity, many satellites, and it was very, very difficult for them to escape that gravity. But I have never played a character as independent as Picasso, never.
Throughout the years, you had been approached about playing Picasso.
Yeah.
But this time, why were you ready to tackle?
I was afraid of playing him because he was born in my hometown. I love my hometown. It was my idol. I didn't want to fail him. And so when Ron Howard came, National Geographic, and both of them, they offered me a lot of guarantees that we were going to do something good and factual. And National Geographic got so much prestige and credibility, and Ron Howard too, that I said, now or never. This is the time I have to jump into this character, and so that's what I did. He's a very mysterious character. He never revealed in interviews or things like that his true personality. He didn't want to. He did very little interviews. There is only one television interview, Belgian television, 1960 something. He was too independent. He didn't want to justify anything.
One of my professors in college, my art history professors, was friends with one of his mistresses, Maria Teresa.
Maria Teresa Walter. I'm very good friend with the grandson of Maria Teresa. And actually I talked to his daughter, with Maya, who lives in Paris. She's 82 now. But Olivier is a very good friend of mine, and he came to the set.
He did.
It's very interesting because one day I was shooting a scene in which I am talking about of his mother.
What?
I am talking with Paul Eloy, who was a poet at the time. And when I finished the scene, he just gave me the phone and said, "Hello, hi, it's Maya." It was the woman that I was talking about as a child, was on the phone with me.
So did Olivier bring you a Picasso when he came to set?
No, unfortunately.
Do you own one?
I do.
You do?
I used to own two, but I lost one in my divorce.
That happens.
That happens, and it's fair. It's okay.
Fair.
Yeah.
But you still have one.
Yes.
And you have this.
Yeah.
So that's
And I
all
have
that
this.
matters.
Yeah.
All right.
Definitely.
Well, thank you so much for being here.
It's my pleasure, really.
And you can watch Genius Tuesdays at 10 on National Geographic. See you next week on Couchsurfing.